Eli has a folder, not the camera roll, a dedicated folder, titled something neutral, saved maybe, or a single symbol, or nothing at all. The kind of folder you make when you want something to be findable, without quite admitting how often you go back to it. There are hundreds of lines in there, from philosophers, from strangers on the internet, from that one podcast episode Eli has listened to 4 times. Lyrics, probably a few screenshots of things people said to them that landed. And when a line goes in, there is a feeling. Not just that is interesting, something closer to, oh, that is me. That is exactly where I am right now. I want to start there, with that feeling, because it is not shallow. It is actually one of the more honest things a person can experience. The sudden recognition that something outside of you has named something inside of you, that a stranger, writing in a different century, somehow knew to leave a door open that had the exact shape of where you were stuck. That feeling is real. What I want to talk about tonight is what happens in the moment right after it, or what doesn't happen. There is a line a lot of people know, what does not kill me makes me stronger. Eli has it. Of course Eli has it. Most of us do, in some form. And here is the thing about that sentence that rarely gets said out loud. It doesn't actually say you are becoming stronger. It doesn't say surviving means transforming. It doesn't say, hold on, the process is working. What it is asking, in context inside the argument it came from, is something closer to, are you doing the thing that makes strength possible? Or are you just enduring? Because enduring and transforming are not the same motion. One is happening to you, the other requires you to happen back at it. That is a different kind of sentence. It wasn't designed to sit in a folder. It was designed to make you a little uncomfortable every time you came back to it, to look at your current life and ask, is this it? Is this what I am doing? Somewhere between it being written and Ellie saving it at 1 a.m. after a hard week, something changed. Not the words, the function. The sentence went from being a question to being an answer. And that switch, that quiet, almost invisible switch, is what I want to look at tonight. Fromm spent most of his life trying to describe 2 different ways of being alive. He called them having and being. In having mode, you relate to things, ideas, relationships, experiences. By possessing them, you accumulate. You collect. There is a list you could make of what you have, and the list makes you feel more solid. The thought belongs to you. In being mode, you relate to things by encountering them. The thought passes through you and leaves you changed. You can quite list what you are, because you are still in the middle of becoming it. Neither is failure. Having mode isn't stupidity or shallowness. It is one of the primary ways humans organize their interior, especially when the exterior feels unstable. Having things, including ideas, including beautiful sentences, creates a kind of ballast, something you can return to, something that says, this much I know about myself. But having a thought is not the same as being changed by it. And Eli's folder is a having mode relationship with ideas. Not because Eli is intelligent, because Eli is human, and having is faster, and being is genuinely more uncomfortable. And the folder exists precisely because it can hold things without asking you to do anything with them. Here is where I want to slow down for a second, because I don't want to blow past something important. Winnicott, a psychologist who spent decades thinking about what humans do when they under emotional pressure, noticed that we have a very natural way of using certain things to regulate ourselves. Not because the thing has that power, but because we give it that function, often without realizing we've done it. We do this with words. There are sentences we carry not primarily because we re-engaging with the thought, but because we need something to hold on to while we re-working up to what the thought is actually asking. A line that names the pain without demanding we resolve it yet. Something that says, I see you. You are allowed to still be in this. That is not wrong. That is being human in a season where you don't have all the ground under you yet. The question is, when does the thing you are holding on to become the reason you are not moving? When does the sentence you are using to get through the week quietly become the thing you are using instead of the week? At some point, and this point is different for everyone, and it is often invisible when you are inside it. The comfort of the line and the demand of the line start pulling in opposite directions. And most of the time, the comfort wins. John Keats wrote a letter in 1817, and inside it he named something that has stayed with me. He called it negative capability, the ability to remain inside uncertainty, to not rush toward resolution, to let a question keep being a question while you live alongside it, without converting it immediately into an answer, that makes you feel safer. Keats thought this was rare. He thought most people, when they encountered something unresolved, something that didn't have a clean landing, felt an almost unbearable pressure to close it, to make it make sense, to arrive somewhere. What we do with lines like the one in Eli's folder is the opposite of negative capability. We take something that was meant to stay open, meant to keep asking, meant to be a little uncomfortable every time we return to it, and we gently close it. Not violently, quietly. We close it by making it about who we already are, rather than who we're being asked to become. The sentence said, "Are you doing this? We heard you are becoming this." And once that switch happens, once the question becomes a confirmation, the door closes. What is lost isn't dramatic, it is subtle. It is just one fewer opening through which something could have come in and rearranged you. One question that had the right shape for where you were stuck, quietly filed under answered before the answering happened. Eli's folder is full of doors that got closed a little early, not out of laziness, not out of bad faith, out of a completely understandable need to feel like something was resolving, even if the resolution was performed rather than lived. The sentence got saved, it got shared maybe, it got quoted. It felt, in those moments, like engaging with it. But the question at the center of it, "Are you doing the thing?" never quite got asked, in a way that required an answer. I am not asking you to delete the folder, but I want to try something with you. The next time a line lands on you, or right now, if something from tonight landed, instead of moving immediately towards saving it or sharing it, stay inside it for a moment longer than is comfortable. And ask, what is this line asking me to actually do? Not what does it say about me, not what does it help me understand about my past, not even what does it make me feel. What is it asking me to do? Because if it is a real thought, if it has genuine weight to it, it will have an answer to that question. It will want something from you, something concrete, something that would make your life, even slightly, different than it was before you read it. If it does, ask anything of you. If it only confirms, only mirrors, only flatters, it has already been processed, it has already been made safe. You got the warmth without the work, and that is worth knowing. It is not a verdict, it is just information. Here is something to sit with this week. Take one line from your collection, the one you return to most, the one that feels most like you, or most like where you are. Ask it this, what is the last thing you asked of me? And then ask yourself, did I do it? Not whether you understood it, not whether it resonated, whether you actually in your life did the thing it was pointing at. And then, this is the part that matters, in the next 72 hours, do it. Not a full transformation, not a perfect version. One thing that moves your life 1 centimeter in the direction the sentence was pointing. Not posting about it, not writing a long reflection about it, not sending it to someone who you think needs to hear it more than you do. Just doing it. That is the difference Fromm spent a whole book describing, between having a thought and being changed by it, between collecting a life and living one. Eli is going to do one thing this week, something small, something the line in the folder has been quietly asking for. It might be a year, it might be longer. I hope you do too. I'll see you next time.